You are watching the Global Gamers Invitational Tournament brought to you by iFixit. SCVs for the real world. The Handsome Nerd attire for the handsomest of nerds. And Esports United, sponsored by Intel. This broadcast is also made possible by IC Cup TV, TeamLiquid.net, and of course, Blizzard Entertainment. Hello everyone and welcome back to Game 2 of this best of 3 series from the Global Gamers Invitational round of 32 between CheckPrime and his Korean friend oGs.TheWind, two excellent Korean Zerg players. CheckPrime lost the previous game, tried to pull off a spine crawler rush, did not work, and oGs.TheWind just out macroed him quite handily. So I expect we will see some different play from CheckPrime. Seeing as how he is facing elimination, I doubt he'll try to cheese his opponent. Once again, I want to thank those sponsors, iFixit, SCVs for the real world, but also Esports United and the Handsome Nerd, all of whom have donated many prizes and lots of money to this tournament, bringing out big names like Check and The Wind, two very high caliber players. We see that the Overlords are crossing in the middle. There's really no question as to where their opponent's base is. Check has done an extractor trick and sitting on one slightly ahead drone as a result of it. The Wind, meanwhile, is going to be catching up very soon. Got 3 drones queued up. That must have been a 10 Overlord, not a 9 Overlord. And neither player so far throwing any spawning pool. We do have extractors at pretty much identical moments. That one is at 300 right about now, so CheckPrime ahead by about maybe 6 seconds on his extractor, and we are getting a spawning pool down for the Wind and corresponding one down for CheckPrime. So both players playing identical builds, probably going to see some speedlings and banelings, what we didn't see last game like we would have expected. So mirror builds from both of these players, both of them able to scout what their opponent is doing exactly. Notice their second Overlord heading to exactly the same place. So both players are in perfect mirror here on Scrap Station. Only minor differences in timing, which I suspect will not make any difference in the grand scheme of things. Both players identical in worker count, so we've yet to see any divergence whatsoever. My guess is we'll see a whole bunch of speedlings butting heads, probably right here, given the way these guys are playing. Right on top of this Automaton 2000. And both Overlords content to hang out directly on top of this hatchery and retreating once that spawning pool finishes because a queen is inbound. CheckPrime waiting a little bit long to move his, but it should be safe in a way before the queen can start poking away at it in midair. We are getting Zergling speed from both players as well as Zerglings being produced from both hatcheries. So this mirror game is continuing, but we are finally getting a Roach Warren. Once this Overlord is driven away by the threat of a queen, we are getting a Roach Warren for oGs.TheWind. Roaches are a nice counter to banelings, also very good against Zerglings if they can get their backs to walls, or if they are in critical enough numbers that lings can't get us around. And this Overlord is indeed in a fair amount of trouble, but he should be able to get away. He might need to redirect its trajectory a little bit there, but I think it will sail away safely. This queen trying to get the Overlord of oGs.TheWind, and this actually might be in trouble, but the queen will have to come an awfully long way. She won't be injecting larvae or laying creep tumors if she chases this far. But it looks like, yes, CheckPrime is acknowledging that he's going to kill it, I'm guessing. I have no idea what this says, but I imagine it's, "I've got your Overlord," and sure enough, there it is. Finally a divergence. CheckPrime is now officially in the lead in this match, taking down one Overlord. Unfortunately, he does not know about this Roach Warren coming down for oGs.TheWind, and those roaches mixed with lings could be a pretty frightening combination. If his opponent builds any banelings, he does have the nest on the way, but he has to actually morph in those banelings first, and he doesn't need to do that if there are too many roaches. The lings are going to engage, but they do pull away. Smart move, given there are 5 roaches with ling support. Those lings would have evaporated, but an ambush here could go very well coming out of the mist. These lings are far behind, so these 5 roaches actually could be in a fair amount of trouble if these lings choose to engage. They do catch 2 rallied Zerglings, 3 kills there. Some of the nice things about fighting against Zerglings with durable units is you'll always pick apart 1 or 2 for free. But these roaches, I have a feeling, are doomed because they are heading all alone into a Zerg base with a flanking pile of Zerglings on the way, and no doubt more being produced. So I think we will be seeing the end of these roaches for oGs.TheWind. Yes, there they go, getting torn apart, and looks like the unit's loss is going to further magnify the lead here for CheckPrime. Yes, he does handily clean up, and it looks like, are we getting any more roaches out of the wind here? It looks like not. He is opting for a hatchery instead, going to try and hold off with Zerglings and some Banelings being morphed in. I have no idea if he saw those in time, but things actually looking really bad here for the wind. He is not producing any more roaches. Finally, he is producing more roaches, 5 more roaches, but he's relying heavily on these Zerglings, and 1 or 2 Banelings well placed will slaughter these Lings in an instant, and the rest of these Speedlings will handily clean up those roaches. Also, those workers will be exposed to the Baneling harass. The roaches, however, are enough to deal with these Lings, I imagine, especially with the Lings and Queen support, but the Banelings are inside, and some of them do connect with Zerglings, but most of them just running around in circles. Now finally going for the drones, able to get, we'll see how many he gets over here. Looks like, oh, that is so many. I think that is 7 drones going down for the wind here. A devastating Baneling attack, and the Lings actually do get out. Having killed 3 of the 5 roaches, they're going to get 1 more, it looks like, maybe 2 more, and the Queen is also exposed. The Queen probably going to go down. 3 roaches coming up in the nick of time, able to keep this Queen alive with 17 hit points, but there are 3 Lings sniping workers. Only 8 drones left for the wind. I don't see any way he can recover from this. He does have a lair, but no spire and no income, and Lings are just streaming in. Such a wide choke point. You just cannot plug that as a Zerg player. You cannot build enough roaches to prevent those Lings from getting in, getting us around, and CheckPrime temporarily relieving the pressure on his opponent. He has all the time in the world. If he wants to tech, if he wants to mass anything, he will easily be able to beat his opponent. All he has to do is not make a mistake, but instead he is morphing in 16 Banelings. That's probably overkill a little bit. I don't think there's enough light units to merit that many Banelings, but maybe he's just going to try and kill the spawning pool. I don't know. Tons of Banelings and only a few Zerglings, so this might actually be a mistake, but I always tend to trust these players as to know what they're doing. Banelings go in, and just goes to show Banelings do not counter roaches. Those roaches do stand up to the Banelings. Only 4 Zerglings getting away, so the army of the wind is eliminated, but you see the units lost are now tied. The only advantage CheckPrime had was the damage done to that worker line. More pressure from those Zerglings. CheckPrime still in a commanding lead, but the gap has indeed closed. All oGs.TheWind needs to do now is get that worker count back up. His opponent has not gone for lair. He has not expanded. He is only playing off of 15 workers, has been this whole game. So a few more minutes and the wind here will have caught up once again. More Banelings being morphed in. Once again, probably a few too many. So many roaches there. And CheckPrime really needs to knock it off on the Banelings already. He is going to be in some serious trouble if he can't make something happen. He is going to engage not enough Lings, I don't think, to deal with those roaches, but the Banelings are chasing those workers. No mining going on. The Queen also terribly weak. And the roaches do finish cleaning up, but those Banelings just kiting those poor drones around in circles. Several Banelings erupting. Oh, he's got to split those drones. If one Baneling connects, all of those are going to go down. And the Banelings finally connect, and there they go. That will be the end for oGs.TheWind. He unfortunately ran the drones straight into the reinforcing Zerglings of CheckPrime, and the Banelings were able to close the distance. The Wind unable to hold on to this game. He is defeated on Scrap Station. We are now tied at 1 in this best of 3 series in the Global Gamers Invitational round of 32. So keep tuning in, guys. We have an exciting conclusion to this Zerg on Zerg matchup between these pro-Korean players. So tune in on IC Cup TV and check out the tournament on TeamLiquid.net. And until next time, have a good one.